anything to do with this production tonight and the entire weekend. I mean, I know Lisa, Danny, the slideshow. I know Joe's helping with the music. I know Lauren and Jan. If you look on your table, you'll see the caricatures of Prince with one of his songs. That was all hand-done for about 6 hours. And anybody else who had anything to do with this to love up on Marion, I truly appreciate it, okay? You know, the Marion that you know and love, okay, is the Marion you know and love. At the beginning, she was a little shy. She was a little timid. She was under Lisa's umbrella, okay? And no problem there, because she blossomed and things changed. And I can give you an example. I recall how things changed. The only problem is I have to tell the truth. Now, my question to you is, do you want the truth? Can you handle the truth? No! Okay. Here's the deal. Lisa and Marion at Hanscom Air Force Base took the bus.
Oh, no, I love this one.
And one day, okay, they take the normal bus ride. There's some type of fracas on the bus, a little fight. Wasn't Lisa or Marion. They just about got to the school, two girls pushing, shoving, and somehow Lisa tried to break it up. The girl scratched her on the face, bloody, all over her face. The bus driver takes Lisa into the school nurse, and ultimately the principal. The principal calls Dorothy, Lisa's mom. Come on in. So Lisa's sitting in the principal with her mother, and the principal says, we can't have this fighting stuff at our school. We cannot. And Lisa is suspended for 3 days. They're looking, are you kidding me? I didn't fight. I wasn't part of this deal. And the principal says, I don't know how that happened to be true, because I just left the nurse's office. And the girl who scratched Lisa is in the nurse's office with a bloody nose, her blouse is ripped, and her hair is pulled. And Lisa, seeing the light, grabs her mother's hand and says, because the last time Lisa saw Marion was chasing that girl off the bus, and apparently she found her. Forget the timid and the shy. Now, Marion has always been a strikingly beautiful girl. You can all see that, you know that. And I remember that. We were at an Air Force base, a lot of GIs and what have you. And I remember one incident specifically at the base pool.
Oh, no.
And I had probably Danny there with her crew doing Marco Polo and stuff. And I'm standing there talking to a major from personnel. Guy had red hair, freckles, and a very light complexion. Marion comes bopping in, okay, with a white bathing suit and her friend walking by. Now, the drill was they never got in the water. The bathing suit never got wet. Hair never got messed, but they were primping. They were styling. The major, with his eyes, turns his neck, follows Marion in the bathing suit, and says, holy shit, did you see that? And I said, yeah, I saw her this morning when she left my house. It's my daughter. The guy turned so red, I thought he was going to have a heart attack. True story. So, they graduated high school. Marion did a very honorable stint, and you saw a picture before in the Air National Guard. It wasn't her cup of tea, but she did a couple of years, and it was awesome. Awesome. And then her and Lisa moved to an apartment. It was a lot of fun. They both had their own apartment. I'm not going to stay up here for a long time, but I do just want to share a couple of Marion stories. We go to Ramstein, Germany, Jen and I. Jen's retired military also. And we left the Pentagon, we went to Germany. And we're in TLF waiting for housing, okay? It wasn't a base house, we went downtown, had a beautiful place. And we're in TLF, and there's a knock on the door. Open the door. Marion, with her suitcases. She had been in London. She had done some modeling. One of her pictures is up there on the wall. Unbeknownst to us, knock on the door, open the door. I'm here for a visit. is it? Great. She ended up staying a year, but that's another story for another time, okay? Now, keep in mind that I'm a chief. I'm up the pecking order. I'm in charge of a lot of people, okay? When Marion got there, people used to say, hi, chief, hi, sir. It turned into, Marion's dad. How's Marion? Forget the chief stuff, okay? So we come back to the States. Marion goes to Boston. She worked for Liberty Mutual, did stocks, bonds, other stuff. Great job, as she always does. Then switched to Fort Lauderdale, and ultimately to Denver, Colorado. And she calls me one day, and she says, hey, I met a fella. And his picture's there. That is Paul right there. Paul and Paul.
Not that one.
Yeah. And she said, I met this handsome, rugged Kiwi from New Zealand, this rugby player, macho guy. And I said, cool, man. And they date. Now, in our inner circle, which is called the Zucker Bunch, we call him the other white meat. But that's another story for another day, okay? So, they get married. We did it in Coors, Colorado. Golden, Colorado, they make Coors beer. Lovely, lovely, lovely ceremony. How much did happen? Number one, it was about a week or two after 9/11, and people said, let's change the date. And we all said, no, we're coming. Paul's folks from mom, dad, grandmother from New Zealand said, the heck with this, we're coming. Folks came in from Australia. Everyone flew in. Well, except Lisa. Joe didn't want Lisa to fly. She came by Pony Express. It took her 3 days.
Oh, that
Right, Joe?
sucked. That was awful.
But, okay, so we're at the wedding, and the wedding almost didn't happen right there on the spot, and I'll tell you why. Get the picture. Beautiful venue, a lady playing the harp. Marion is standing here, Paul is there, the preacher's here. He goes with the shtick and the whole stuff, and he says, Marion Zuckerman, do you promise to love, honor, and obey? Marion says, I promise to love, honor. She drops Paul's hands, puts her hands on her hips, and says, I will not obey. You're not going to be the boss of me. True story. She picks up Paul's hands. Paul has this deer in the headlight look, like what the hell just happened? I look over to Paul's parents and grandmother, and I'm saying, oh, we blew this thing. But Paul, the trooper that he is, pressed on, and we're here today. Now, I just want to take a moment to just acknowledge Paul's parents who are not here tonight. Ian and Jane, just lovely, lovely, lovely people. I met them for the first time that weekend, and Ian and I bonded right away. We went to Paul's stag party. All the rugby crew, Ian, Paul's dad, and I, it was another gentleman from New Zealand. What was his name? So we're sitting there, and I have to be careful now because I have a lot of grandchildren. It was a club, and there was dancing going on. If you catch my drift.
No.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Now, I have to be careful what I say because I have a built-in censure, okay? Her name is Jan for 32 years, whatever she is. I gotta be careful with my shtick. So, one of the rugby guys, and you girls from Denver know him, Buck. Buck is like this, built like a fire plug. He says, Paul, come on. You're coming to the back. We got a special dance for you. Oh, no. I look at Ian. Ian looks at me. And we say, we can't have this. So Ian and I and this other gentleman grab Paul. We lock arms. Buck is standing there. We didn't care. we march out of the joint, grab a cab, and take Marion home. I mean, take Paul home to Marion. There was no dance. Trust me. At least that's the story Paul told me to tell. Now, I just want to say, on a serious note, that 2017 has not been the best for us. Not the best at all. We lost Ian, Paul's dad, to a long illness, but I'll tell you, the guy handled it with dignity and grace. He still traveled. He still loved his family and his grandkids, and he fought the good fight, and he lost it in 2017. But Ian Mason. And 2017 hasn't been the best for us either. My Jan has suffered the worst word you ever want to hear. You have cancer and all the chemo and all the operations and all this stuff, but we're on the upside of that, and we're fighting.
Amen.
I know that life, and I'll get off very shortly. I'm going to be 72 soon, and we're not born with a direction. We don't have a roadmap, okay? We find ourselves in situations, sometimes we want it, sometimes we don't, okay? I was a college faculty for 18 years, and the most common major for a lot of kids was undecided. And I'm talking about freshmen, sophomores, juniors, 20-year-old, 30-year-old, 40-year-old. And Melissa, I'm not talking about you, wherever you are. You graduated, girl. Oh yeah! But we don't have the direction. And Marion was no different. Marion was no different. But you know, then something happened. Something changed. And I tell you exactly to the day when that changed. And that was December 3rd, 2003. Oliver Paul Mason was born. And we can all say to ourselves when we look in the mirror, Ali, take a bow, buddy. Take a bow. Thank you very much. We can all say to ourselves that we were put in certain situations, how we would handle it. We would do as good as somebody else. We'd be able to fight through this. We would have the fortitude. We would do this with special needs and all the things that are associated with it. Maybe we could, maybe we could not. But I'll tell you one thing, Marion could. Marion and Paul could. That young man was in the NICU for so long. He had so many medical problems. He had oxygen tubes coming out of his nose. He was eating baby food until about 6 years ago. He could never be in a situation like this with all the noise. Look at him now. The perseverance of Marion, she never said no. She has been on the Mile High Down Syndrome board. She has been an advocate. She has done anything a parent possibly could do. Inclusiveness for her son, IEPs, you name it. Marion found her purpose on December 3rd, 2003. And then with the birth of Natasha, she just doubled down. She just doubled down. Tashi! GG! For those not to know, that is gangster granddaughter and gangster papa. That would be us. And if I had to put some buzzwords to assign to Tashi, I would use brilliant. I would use beautiful, creative, loves music, loves animals, is so intellectual for 12 years old. If she doesn't go to an Ivy League school, it's because she's going to MIT. This kid is really, really something. Okay? Tashi! Now, Marion has had a great work history. I'm not going to go through it, but every time we turn around, she's got like 9 letters in the title. Senior Vice President of Solutions and Marketing and this and that. She is a good worker. Now, she got something, a few things for me to help along the way. She got the capacity to schmooze, which is so important in business. Yeah. She also